Hey guys, how's it going? I just thought I'd jump on stream, post our action VFX short film, and just talk about that a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for the mess, but it was crazy hectic trying to get this thing done. I thought I might just talk about it a little bit first, but let's just say hello to whoever's popping in here. So let's quickly go down the list and just say hello to Furious Madness, Effects Universal, D1A1 V1 E1 Animations, Mr. Flashman, Ivan, The Green Diamond, Go Cool A, Sapphire, Malik Studios, Kristen Johnson Vlogs, Power Ranked, and Imon, and Divine Alabar at the moment. So I'll just say hello to you guys, and also Luca, and another Ivan has just popped in, and Killer B. I'm just going to stop saying people's names because I'm just going to pop that chat down there. So I just wanted to have a bit of a chat, guys, about the short film we just put out, which was our Action VFX Black Friday thing. I think this is actually the fourth one we've done. It's something we do every year, and we've actually done it twice this year because the fellas had a huge sale in May, and I believe that's when we did the Wonder Woman parody there. But I just want to talk about the process of actually putting this thing together because it was actually quite hectic. In fact, I think it was less than 2 weeks ago that I floated the idea of actually doing a collaboration because Joe and Rodolphe have always wanted to do something with Film Learnin and actually do a collaboration. They've brought it up more than a few times, and I thought, you know what? I think I have an idea of how we can do that. So I just thought, you know what? Let's just go for it. And if it happens, it happens. If we fail, look, we'll fail spectacularly. Luckily for us, everything came together, and I managed to get it done about 2:45 a.m. this morning. So I got it done for the start of their sale, which is, I'm very, very happy about that. Nothing motivates me more and keeps me more awake than a deadline. Well, the funny thing is that I wrote the script the day after they said yes, and then I got to work shooting my sides. So the first thing I shot was my sides with Doug and myself. So I shot all of those, and then the next day I started shooting the Action Jackson stuff. So everything that was shot on the first day was just Doug and I talking. That takes a little bit to set up because I've got to get the lighting right so I can put myself in one shot, shut the camera off, or turn the camera off, and then shoot all Doug's sides as well. And I've got to be able to comp them both in the same shot and time them correctly. So in between shoots, I would just go, okay, let's get all that stuff off the camera. We'll edit that together so we've got the flow right and make sure that we don't need to reshoot everything. And then I'd go back and shoot all of Action stuff, which luckily most of his stuff was shot on a green screen. In fact, all of it was. Every single shot in our short film is Action shot on a green screen. And the first shot I actually worked on was that one where he popped out of the arcade cabinet. Now, I'm just going to pop up in the chat so I can answer anyone's questions. I'll just say hello to everyone. Okay, sorry, I'm just catching up. I don't know what's going on between Effects Universal. Effects Universal hates me, apparently. Okay. Well, that's very nice to know. Now, Christian Johnson's Vlogs, what is my easiest flash effect? That's a good question. Probably the first flash effect I did. No, actually, the second flash effect I did, the reverse flash one. I think that's probably the easiest one I've done. Now, I just wanted to get back to talking about the behind the scenes on the short film because I did get a lot of questions in the comments section. So I thought what we might do for a bit of fun is pop into Premiere Pro and just see how I've put some of these shots together. So let's just do that. Let's pop into Premiere Pro. Hopefully everyone can still hear me and see me. Now, as you can see, I just jumped in there and quickly grabbed a snapshot of this for the thumbnail. So, now, the funny thing about these shots is you'd think that I keyed myself out in these shots, which you would be wrong, because I did quite a bit of cheating in this, believe it or not, because as you can see here, there is a lot of wispy hairs and fine detail in this rather cheap and crappy mullet wig. And the problem with that is, keying that is an absolute nightmare. Even shooting it with good lighting and in 4K, that is still hard to pull a decent key. So what I did was I noticed it in the, I'll just try and find it, in the background of the wall here, they've actually got a pretty clean blue color. So what I actually did was, instead of keying, I just did a change to color. So if we turn that off, you can see I've still got my green screen there, and all I did was change the green with just a simple hue and a little bit of just a little bit of finesse. Easily changes green screen to a blue screen. I mean, there's a little bit of artifacting there, but could I have tweaked that and gotten rid of it? Sure. Now, just excuse me, guys. I'm just going to go back to the main screen because my wife is messaging me, I believe. So just bear with me a second. I'm just going to go to the main ticker, and I'll just see what she wants. So just bear with me, guys. Okay, hopefully I didn't mute anyone. Now, so probably the most complex in here, I'm just going to go straight to this one here. Now, if I jump back into Premiere Pro, just bear with me, guys. I'm trying not to use my shortcuts because every time I do, I seem to derail these streams with technical difficulties. So this is the actual edit of the entire thing. It's very higgledy-piggledy, but let me just see if I can pull it up. Alright, here we go. So that's a very easy shot. All I did was shoot myself on a green screen, and I'm actually in the bottom of the frame here, opening that. Well, I shut the door, actually. I completely shut it, and then I just reversed the footage, and I put a light inside the arcade cabinet, and then I just added a little bit of a light raise there so that the light actually interacts when you open the door. And of course, then you chuck action in there, which I just leaned in on a green screen and then just sort of half animated myself. But you can actually see that there's a fair bit of artifacting on the finer details of the hair. So I don't linger on these shots where I actually did the keying, but that particular one it just doesn't look that great. But the one that people are asking about is this one here, where I'm actually, yeah. Now, a couple of people have asked in the comment section about this. Yes, it is just a simple model from Mixamo. And all I did was I built the model in Fuse, just using some of the default settings. And then imported that into Mixamo and just added some motion capture that was called mutant jumping. So that's why you've got that And of course, I animated the position in Cinema 4D of him just jumping up wildly. And then I've added a few elements in there. If I had time to do this one again, I would totally spend a lot more time on it. Because, yeah, I'm not very happy with the way it looks at all. The skin tones are off. There's a dark shadow over here that it just doesn't suit the shot at all. And the hair is an absolute mess. But I actually deleted the default hair that came with Fuse because their hair is absolute dog crap. Unless you're doing like crowds from far away, that hair is just absolutely useless. So what I actually did in Cinema 4D is deleted that hair. Then I set a selection on the 3D model's scalp. And then I actually added the hair module and styled a mullet. Now, I wish I had more time to work on that, but I was trying to get this digital double shot done on the exact same day that I was due to put this thing out. So being able to finesse a 3D model into doing exactly what you want it to do and looking just right, that was way down on the totem pole, because I started working on this in the morning and I didn't finish till 2 a.m. and that was just putting everything together. So all of the elements being put together. So I kind of just divorced myself from making this shot look good, because honestly, I could not get it to look any better than that given the time frame. But if I had time, totally could make that look a lot better. Because you can just see here, the shadows are all off on the side. It just, and even the skin tone. Because if you pop over just to here, you can see the skin tone on here, much lighter. You've got definite yellows, and then you've got this, which is way too pink, and it's got some orange elements. Now, just bear with me. My wife is still messaging me, so I'm just gonna. Sorry, I'm just gonna pop back to there and just see what she's saying. She's just gonna keep messaging him if I don't say something. Okay. Okay, so guys, are there any questions that you had related to the short at all? I'm happy to answer them. Okay, effects universal. You're getting a timeout. Test of films, the winners will be announced next month. I'm actually going on a short vacation next week, which I'm desperately looking forward to. So the next episode I want to do is the Star-Lord helmet effect. I don't know if I'm going to get it done in time because I am leaving in like 6 days. So it's probably not going to happen. So I thought I might either do that or I'll do 2 smaller episodes just tackling a couple of things. One I wanted to do was how to add snow to your footage. So make it look like it has been snowing and is snowing. And the other one, I can't remember off the top of my head what it was going to be, but it was, yeah, relatively easy to do. So just something that was succinct and easy to do. Because, yeah, 6 days, it's not a long time to put together one of these things. I usually do one in 7 days, but I don't usually do a short film in between then. So I honestly would love to do the Star-Lord helmet effect. It's just I don't think it's going to happen. Malik Studios said, why do your edits have so many layers? When I edit, all I do is audio, video, and sound effects. Well, why don't I jump into Premiere Pro, and I'll just explain a few of those. So let's jump in. So you can see right off the bat, I've got a jump layout which is containing our just our color grade. So that's a final color grade on top there. It's easier if I've corrected all the other layers. It's just easier to lay your final grade up on top with an adjustment layer. Then of course, after that, we have our Action Jackson, who comes into the scene, and this one's actually animated with a camera lens blur, so I wanted him to come in, and then I wanted the web camera to actually adjust focus. So now that he's in front of the camera, so it racks focus from the two boys behind to him, and then of course when he jumps out of the frame, it racks focus back to them again. So we've got Action Jackson. Then of course we have, oh, hang on, I'm just gonna go back to where they're actually in focus. So after that, I don't know why that that one's blank, but after that we have Doug. See, so here he is in and out, and then the final visual layer is just me. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 layers that make up the final shot. And then you've got the original dialogue from Action Jackson. Then, actually that's his dialogue. That is the music. And then we've got the leftover sound effects there. So in this situation, this is just one sound. That's a rustling sound effect. So there's some Foley of him walking towards and jumping. Then you've got 3 different crash sound effects that are composited on top of each other. So that's a pretty simple shot there, because all it's got is the music, and then all of the sound effects, and then of course the final shot. Now this was a pretty easy one. All the fellas at Action VFX did is just shoot this shot. I animated a camera move. Then we've got all the different sound effects and music, and they just had one of those green tracking things on their screen. So it was very easy to just go in there, key that out in front of Rodolphe's face, and then all I did was just put a couple of animated layers, so we're just doing a stupid expression the entire time. But yeah, the edit looks complicated, but it really isn't. It's most of my edits look like this, and they're not very organized, but one's particularly unorganized just because how slapdash I had to put it together. So I might take a couple more questions. VidBoss, did I make my own puppet? No, I very much did not make that puppet. I actually bought him from an educational place that makes, well, they don't make them, they just sell that puppet. If you go on to Amazon and type in Silly Monster Puppet, you will find Doug. He's in a lot of different colors. Shadow Watcher Demon Slayer has asked, is it possible to combine the bat swarm and disintegration effect to make a vampire effect? Possibly. I know a few years back, Surface Studios Tobias actually did a dissolve into crows effect, so you might be able to actually get away with that with the bat swarm pack. I'm not sure about that, so don't quote me on that, but you might be able to do it. You can also bring in just a bat flying OBJ into Trapcode Particular and make a swarm that way, so you use the OBJ as a source for all of your bats, so you just do the particles and then set the layer to OBJ, and then you can actually use the bats for that, but they do have to be animated beforehand. What was it? Sorry, Alfonso the Great has asked, sorry, where's it gone? What was the most difficult effect I ever had to do? I'm a big fan. Hello from the UK. Well, the most difficult. Look, in terms of difficulty, it's always developing an effect, especially when you have to do one without any reference material. So, look, I'd have to say something like the breach effect for one, because there's no clear reference on how they did that. I tried so many different combinations to come up with that, and it ended up being going into Cinema 4D and playing with displacement effectors on just a torus shape. But that took probably 2 solid months of experimentation until I was happy with the way it looked, because it wasn't just the displacement effect. That you could do. It was the texturing of that actual breach that I was trying to make it look sort of like smoke and water at the same time. So it got to a point where I gave up on it at one point, and then I finally said, look, this is as good as you're going to get it. It doesn't match perfectly, but no one else has really attempted it, so let's just put it out there. Is what it is. We can always come back to it and remix it. So that was probably the hardest effect I've worked on outside of the Star-Lord helmet effect. But, okay. Christian Vlogs, what are your thoughts on Mark Ruffalo getting fired? Mark Ruffalo wasn't really fired. In fact, the whole thing was kind of a fake out. Looper actually did a video of it online. Mark Ruffalo didn't actually leak the Avengers 4 title. He told the audience before the break that he was going to do that. So yeah, he didn't really get fired. They're just doing it to troll the audience a little bit. Oh, Bat Spider-Man came in with a shocker of a dad joke there. Vidboss says, who voices Doug? I don't want to break the illusion, but I do everything in this show. So yes, I voice and puppet Doug at the same time. I usually do it all live. I'm not a big fan of recording his voice after the fact, because generally I come up with his lines on the spot. This is probably the first thing I've scripted in a very, very long time, but I needed the fellows at Action VFX to have a script so they knew what to say. So I scripted my lines as well as theirs, which is always helpful because Gabe over there, who was directing some of it, he was able to feed them my lines so they could react to them. And the awesome part about that was when they were shooting, I actually think they were shooting yesterday. So I got that footage yesterday and they were shooting in the morning. I was on Facebook Messenger actually talking to Gabe as he was shooting, just giving him a bit of direction and some notes as well, which was awesome. Because they're all the way over in Tennessee in America, and I'm in Australia, and I was just getting Dexter his breakfast, and here I am sending them notes on the shots that I need for this short film, which was just, it's an incredible experience, just how far technology's come that you can be directing a short film while you're not even in the country, in a different time zone that's 10 hours ahead of where they are. And that blows my mind a little bit. Yes, there are, sorry, I'll just say to Alfie, yes, sorry, Bat Spider-Man says, imagine Doug running into a purple-green version of himself. That'd be hilarious. Oh, God, I don't want to buy another puppet. But yes, there are several different versions. In fact, I was weighing up a blue one, then I thought the orange one looked a little bit cooler. So I'm very glad that I didn't listen to my internal self when I said, ooh, look at that blue one. And then I thought, oh, I won't be able to do anything with him on a green screen because he's not really blue, he's kind of turquoise. Zachary Justice says, happy Thanksgiving, Grant. Do they celebrate Thanksgiving in Australia? We do not. This is just another day for us. But that's okay. I'm fully prepared to eat a whole bunch of food to vicariously live through you. Now, guys, I'm just going to go back to the first screen because there's no real reason for me to stick in Premiere Pro unless someone's got a question about the edit or some of the effects in the short film. Yes, let's get back to my messy ass room. So I'll just pop the chat back out again. Alfonso the Great says, I need a way to have musical scores in my film, but I have no money. I'm in high school. Look, the YouTube Creator Library is probably your best bet for free music. I mean, you can get some sample tracks in Filmstro, which Filmstro is free to download. It's just the membership's what's going to get you the rest of their catalog, which updates every Monday, which is still amazing. But they do have a whole bunch of demo tracks, and that could actually help you out in scoring your short film in the interim. It's not going to be a perfect match with your footage, but it's a good first step. Now, do I have any advice for a beginner? Or do I have videos or any advice for a beginner? Go on to my YouTube channel and type in masterclass. You'll see both a YouTube masterclass and a beginner filmmaking masterclass. Both of those, they'll be able to guide you through the process of either making your first short film or developing a YouTube channel. Alfonso also says, I've been struggling with strike. When I want to edit a shot with my actor running through on a ground view, there isn't an asset long enough to match the shot. You need to trim your shot, dude. That's my best advice. Your shot is too long. If the asset isn't long enough for your actor to move through the shot, then your actor is either not moving fast enough or your shot is too long. Because though all the assets in the strike pack were developed by me using the show's lightning as reference. So Barry is very rarely on screen longer than 10 frames, even less, when he's either running past the camera or he's running out of camera or away from camera. So my best bet is to check out the very last flash running effect that I did with strike and try and trim some frames out of your shot. So that's my best advice there. You need to edit down your shot so it's not as long. Let's see. Did the guys over at Action VFX shoot on a green screen? They did for one shot. The one shot where I'm falling through the ceiling. They had that on a portable green screen, which was very, very handy. Because otherwise I would have had to roto them out, and I did not have time to do too much roto. I did 2 roto shots in the entire thing, and that was rotoing out Joe and Rodolphe when they were watching the whole thing, watching the office burn down. So I rotoed both of their shirts out of the shot, and then I put some fire and some smoke behind them. Okay. He's talking about, yeah, what I mean is if you look at the end of the Justice League, there's a 10-ish second shot of the Flash running through the city as Wonder Woman has with a little narration. Well, nothing in the strike pack is engineered to go for 10 seconds. So that might be something that I'll be developing later on. I'll have to talk to my buddy Crimson Wrens, who has actually developed with his other buddies a 3D lightning simulator, as well as my buddy Lee Strip, who's also working on a lightning simulator in Houdini. But until I get my hands on that lightning simulator in Cinema 4D, I won't be able to do a shot that lasts for that long. Because each second of a strike pack is 24 frames. So that's 24 individually drawn frames. And every single one of those frames, I have to draw that lightning from scratch. Every single stroke of lightning. So every spark and every little bit of bolt is drawn by hand, frame by frame. So that will end up being thousands of bolts of lightning. And it's not something that I have the time to do, unfortunately. But once we get our hands on that 3D lightning asset, we'll be able to easily do that, because I won't have to do it frame by frame. It'll just be keyframe animation. So hopefully that answers your question. Now, have I ever wanted to do VFX on Green Lantern? Funny you mentioned that, because I just got this from Wish. I don't know if that's focusing on that at all. So I actually have a lantern ring, and look what came today. So that's another one that I've got to do. So once again, guys, thanks to everyone who supports us on Patreon and also is a YouTube sponsor, because without that, I don't buy a lot of these props, guys. So all of this is possible through people actually supporting the channel through Patreon and by doing the join thing down below, the YouTube sponsorship. If I have any free time after YouTube, what I do, Serge Cubes ask. I don't have any free time at all. In between looking after my my son all day, when he has some quiet time, I will sit back and I've been watching Making a Murderer Season 2, which, my God, that is a compelling show. It gets you so invested, but at the same time, I'm so angry. Like, it's seriously, it boggles my mind how ineffective the court system is for those fellas. It just, yeah, it gets you so riled up. It's just such good filmmaking. But that's what I've been doing the last few days when I've had any sort of semblance of free time. But that's very few and far between. What kind of mic do I have? Christian Johnson Vlogs ask. My mic is a Rode NT USB. So I also have the video micro in the background there, which I shoot all the Film Learnin episodes on. Any chance that you do a Harry Potter effect? I've got to research some Harry Potter effects. I probably should do one. I've actually got a wand prop in the drawer there as well. I should do a reaction video to the Arrowverse Elseworlds crossover. I leave all the reaction videos to my buddy Akasan. And also, I'd probably leave that to Pagey as well. Those are two dudes that do enough reaction videos for all of us. I take my hat off. I tip the beanie to Akasan. That guy produces an insane amount of content. And you never see him wearisome of it. Like, he does dozens of videos a week reacting to everything and anything. And he's always got a great discussion afterwards, has a great dialogue with his subscribers. He even does a call-in show. I don't even know how that works, but yeah, he's the one you want to go to for reactions, I tell you. So yes, I will be doing a flash ring effect, and I will be doing a Green Lantern effect in the future. I've seen a lot of people saying Hulk effect. What about that? Oh yeah, Nabs. Yes, Akasan and I go way back. We've chatted many a time. In fact, he was on the last Film Learnin 60K short film competition. He actually came on as a presenter. So yeah, we've chatted quite a bit. I've actually done some title cards for him, and I've done some effects for him as well. But yes, he's a very good dude. Did I watch the new episode of Flash? No, I haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers. And yes, I am doing the flash ring effect. Now, a lot of people are saying Hulk effect because many years ago there was a young fellow called Wolverine who just really wanted a Hulk effect, and he was saying on every single video, "Hulk effect, please," and it just sort of blossomed into this lovely meme. So yeah, what the? Jake Chance just hit me up with a super chat. Thanks very much, and he said just got in an accident. But what's up, mate? What happened? I hope you're okay, because that frown it needs to turn upside down, dude. So I hope everything's okay. I just want to wait to see if everything's okay, or he's going out of consciousness or something. Oh, sorry, I'll just address Zachary Justice's comment. Yes, the flash ring effect will be done by you alone, or will you co-op with Renz? Possibly. I'll have to talk to Renz about that. I haven't. A guy ran a Reddit, so I was going for a pizza. Is the pizza okay? Or did you not get the pizza? It's very important that you get that pizza after a traumatic event like that. Nabs, a lot of people do make title cards for Akasan, so I think only the Flash title cards and maybe the Arrow title card I made for him. Also, I may, and I don't quote me on this because I don't remember, I may have also done a Crisis X one for him. Jake, I'm really curious about that pizza. What kind of pizza were you thinking of getting? Ravi, the Iron Man sit-up effect is going to be one of those things that's got to linger for a while because it's very, very technical and I don't want to do a bad job of it. Alfonso, I'll just say what he said there, guys. He says he's in high school and every time he asks someone to act in a film for me, as in his mates, they either don't answer messages or they don't want to show up. Been there, dude. I have been there. If your friends aren't that interested in filmmaking, or your family, it does put a big dampener on your spirit. Sorry, that's Dexter's baby monitor. It's running out of battery. It's just one of those things. I kind of just got over it because I wanted to do filmmaking and no one in my family or my sort of surrounding friend circle wanted to do it. So I just thought, well, I can do it on my own. What I would encourage you to do is see if you can find anyone in your local area that does amateur acting or amateur dramatics, and you might find that they'll want to participate in your films because they want something to fill out their acting catalog or what's that word? Portfolio. There you go. Portfolio. So yeah, if you find some sort of amateur dramatic society, you'll generally find that people are quite eager to act, and that just so they've got something that they can show to people if they go to auditions and whatnot. I'm just going to turn off that monitor. I'm not going to be on much longer, guys. I just wanted to jump on and talk to you about the action movie effects short film. Just bear with me a second. Besides which, I'm getting super thirsty and I've got absolutely no liquids around, so... Oh, there's our burp of the... Oh, sorry. What is burp of the week? It's brought to you by absolutely nothing. Huh. That's a shame. Pepperoni pizza, that's what it was. So he's getting a pepperoni pizza and brownies at Papa John's. I've never had brownies from a pizza place, but pepperoni pizza, nice. Look, Alfonso, it's really, really hard to do stuff by yourself. I'll fully admit that. I have ambitions for things that I want to do, and I know that I need a crew to actually complete them, so I generally put those things on the back burner. What I'd encourage you to do is write smaller projects that you can complete yourself, just so you can get your experience up. That's my best advice when it comes to that, because it's really, really hard to get people involved in shooting a film with you when they're not invested and they don't care. It's excruciating. David Ingram asked, what sort of stuff have you done professionally before the channel took off? I recall you saying you had other work to do back in the day. My former employ was I was running the e-learning system for a public hospital, and that involved developing all the content for them, so all the learning content, so shooting videos of like procedures and policy stuff, a lot of boring stuff, but it was working with like medical professionals on how to actually present their presentations, just to bring them onto sort of an online aspect. So teaching people how to do their fire training online, teaching people how to do like basic life support, that sort of thing. So it was, yeah, it's essentially what I do here, making learning content. I was just doing it for someone else. And I've also done a fair bit of corporate work as well. So just people commissioning me to make content for them. I've done a fair bit of that. And even this last short film that we did with that Action VFX, that is essentially an ad. So I've done quite a few commercials as well. Now, Bat Spider-Man said, I haven't checked, but how's the Venom effect going? I've got to talk to Hero Column 3D about that, because he launched his new model, and I just haven't had a chance to have a chat with him, because it's been crazy busy. What else have we got? What's my least favorite topping on a pizza? Man, what's my least favorite topping on a pizza? Anchovies. Anchovies or olives. Can't stand either of them on a pizza. They have no place on it. Get them off. I don't like olives, though. What's one word to make Grant mad? Kinemaster. Yes. God. I don't know how many times I've been no. How do we make this on Kinemaster? I go, no. No, you can't do it. Yuck. That's all I got to say about that. Grant no like. Bad medicine. Malik Studios win the 100k prize show coming out. It'll be out next month. I've still got to sit down and watch all the entries, and then I've got to tee up all of the guest presenters as well. Takes a little bit of time to put that together, and by a little bit of time, it's going to take a bit of time. So I'll just ask for your patience in the meantime. Bat Spider-Man has a good point. Collaborating can be hard if you do have a vision, but the important thing is that your vision has to be malleable if you're working with other people, because the easiest way to be working on a one-man crew is to alienate the people that you're working with and treat them like it's my way or the highway. You cannot do that in a collaborative process because no one will want to work with you. So it's always important to have a vision and help others to, or help to get others to, execute that vision, but always be open to other people's ideas. Otherwise, no one will want to work with you because they'll think, oh yeah, he doesn't need my help. So, yeah, it's very important. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to catch up on a few of these. And when I see bad editing or anything that's subpar, does it trigger you to see it? Yes. Yes. I was not a fan of the editing of the Shane Dawson documentary series because there was so many terrible jump cuts because he refused, for some reason, to shoot with two cameras. I know he has a special relationship with his cameraman, but those sort of things need coverage because clearly Jake Paul was putting on some sort of act and playing completely dumb and just sitting there going, like, and they had to cut out a lot of that in between. And in some circumstances, he'd ask him a question, he'd start to answer it, he would pause, and then they would cut that pause, and it was just jarring, and I could not stand it. The production value is good in Shane Dawson's documentaries, but I can't stand jump cuts, unnecessary jump cuts. I mean, they may have found that they were necessary, but they wouldn't have been if they'd done simple stuff like zoom in, like say zoom in 30% and then cut, because that's an easy way to hide a cut, or shoot with a separate camera that's just on a tripod so you've got some sort of coverage that you can cut to. Pretty simple stuff, really. Let's see what else. Kinemaster is the worst topping on a film pizza. Yes, it is. Do I think Avengers 4 will be better in Infinity War? I don't know. More than anything, I just hope it's as good. Because Infinity War was great. I loved it. Let's see. I just realized VFX is basically cinematic illusions, so an effects artist is basically an illusionist, therefore Grant is a magician equals Doctor Strange. He's found me out. I feel like I need to throw like a smoke bomb and then just disappear. Oh, No Films was jumped on. Hey, how's it going, dude? What are my thoughts on the PG-13 Deadpool? I think it's going to be hilarious. I love the fact that they recreated the Princess Bride scene with an adult Fred Savage. But then, Fred Savage is a funny guy. I wish he was in more stuff. Except that sitcom that he did, that was terrible. Do I enjoy Marvel or DC more? Marvel has the formula right. DC are lucky when they get a movie right, unfortunately. The DC TV shows are better than the movies at this point. Okay, what else have we got? What is your view on teaching voices and effects from video games? I don't really have any opinion on that one. Teaching voices is hard because, well, usually when I do a voice effect, I say you've got to do your best impression of this, but teaching someone to do a voice, it's just a matter of you've just got to train yourself to do it. I don't have any real method doing that. I just practice until it sounds close enough. So I don't really have any... Oh my god. Hassan Hamid just said, I can't fall asleep, so I came here. It's 3:45 a.m. in Scotland. And I have a school tomorrow. Go. Dude, I don't know. I got no advice for you. I was up at 2:45 myself, so... Yep, I've got my luggage. Check out these bags. Am I more of a Goku or a Vegeta fan? I do like Goku. I mean, I love the fact that when he was on the heavens bit, when he got defeated by, I think it was Frieza, when he was eating the clouds. I love that. But who doesn't love Vegeta in that pink shirt and just him saying, "What's the matter? Haven't you ever seen a pink shirt before?" You know, yeah. Vegeta was always coming up with some great lines. Give me some more egg rolls. What's my favorite voice to teach? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go ahead and be a complete centrist here and just say I don't have a favorite voice that I've done. And yes, my throat is quite sore from doing the Action Jackson voice. Oh, noiseless, sorry. What plugin do you think produces realistic lens flares, optical flares, or Null Light Factory? I've used them both, and I couldn't really discern a difference between the two of them. I think that Null Light Factory has more customization, but I haven't drilled down in it enough. But I've used optical flares for quite some time. And I probably just default to that because I've used it more. So it's not really an answer. What films can only be watched once in a good way? I can answer that. There's one film that I've watched that I thoroughly enjoyed that I've never watched again, and that was Borat. I think that was one of the funniest films I've ever seen, and I don't want to ruin the experience. I watched that in the theater, and I've never seen it again since. I've also not seen Split again, the sequel to Unbreakable. I've bought the Blu-ray, but I've yet to watch it. I enjoyed that movie thoroughly, but I have not seen it again. No, Josh, sorry, I did not see the Red Giant commercial for their Black Friday sale. I'll have to check that out. I am subscribed to them, but I haven't looked at any videos at the moment today. Nah, noiseless. What I will advise is to buy the cheapest one, because they're both great. Hey Grant, what's your favorite Marvel movie? Well, I like Doctor Strange, very much so. I would say that probably Infinity War or Winter Soldier is my favorite. It's on a sliding scale. It just really depends what the mood I'm in. Jake Chan's hit me back with another super chat saying, final release. Car was down to 4K. But happy Thanksgiving, Grant. I expected a pepperoni pizza effect soon. See you in the next stream, mate. I will have to order a pepperoni pizza the next time I'm on stream and just sit here eating it silently. Hey, it's a super chat. I have to do what it says. Yes, mate. Yes, Bat Spider-Man. Split was a sequel, but it was a sly sequel. You didn't know until the final 5 minutes that it was actually a sequel to Unbreakable. And that was a great surprise for me. I love the Unbreakable soundtrack, and Unbreakable is my favorite film. So when that music started to play, I was like with my wife. My favorite Stan Lee cameo was his Spider-Man 2 cameo. Was that the one where he said, I guess one person can make a difference? Enough said? Okay. Dazzling, Blazing, Shimmering Dust said, have you seen or reacted to someone who made a glitch voice effect without manually creating it and used a plugin? No, I have not. Yes, Cash for All, there will be some more flash effects. Please say hi to your dogs to me from Josh Alexander. They are adorbs. Yes, they are. They got a wash a couple of days ago too, because we're having our backyard ripped up at the moment. We're getting some renovations done to that. So, yeah, they were very, very, very dusty. Yeah. Just bear with me a second, guys. Christian vlogs. Oh, you absolute bastard. He's sending me links, and I'm just thinking, okay, he wants me to check out something. It's a damn Rickroll. I saw the title in the tab, so technically I didn't get Rickroll because I didn't hear the music. I will never click another one of your links, Christian. You dirty bastard. Okay, speaking of Hassan, Hassan's got to go to sleep, and at the moment my wife is asking for my help via Facebook Messenger. So what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to jump off stream for now. I'll be back in a couple of days, but maybe with a new episode of Film Learnin. But we'll see how that goes. But thanks for everyone coming out. Best wishes to Jake Chan and his pepperoni pizza. I hope you feel better, dude. Damn red light running son of a guns. But everyone, thanks very much for coming out. Like, subscribe, share, all that crap. Have a happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrate it. Check out the Patreon, guys. Hit the join button if you can. And check out the new Action VFX short. And, of course, the Beast Boy Titans effect that's up on the channel right now. And until I see you again, guys, keep learning.